as always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
I love it. We've got to give these guys the respect they deserve. OU baseball, they closed out the season winning their last 5 conference series in a row. Ultimately, took 2 or 3 over Texas Tech there at the end. Really, really good stuff. It's the most conference wins Oklahoma has had since the 2010 season. They're doing really good right now. Bats are hot. Pitching is doing really well. They're the number 3 seed in the Big 12 tourney, playing West Virginia, and Oklahoma's got a chance to win that tournament right now. The way that they're playing, they're hot.
Yeah, I like it. Look at you.
Also, thought about going with tennis, playing in the national championship coming up, women's tennis.
They are playing right now, and the singles update, this came 32 seconds ago from OU women's tennis. They are currently down 2-1 to Texas, but a lot of tennis to be played. So we'll see if that has been decided by the time we wrap up here. But congratulations or not, I don't know. I'm nervous for him. I really don't want him to lose to Texas in the national championship.
They'll be fine. But, yeah, OU baseball deserves the shout-out. They've been playing really good right now. And, hey, they got a chance to possibly do some damage in the NCAA tourney as well. Good stuff. Skip Johnson's got them rolling.
Yeah, you want to be hot. They will – the number 3 seed, their number 3 seed in the Big 12 tournament, and they will play West Virginia in the first round of the Big 12 championship on Wednesday.
And then I think if they win that game, they have the winner of Tech and
if they win that game, they have the winner of game 4. So that would be Kansas State and Texas Tech.
Yeah. Yep.
And that game will be on ESPNU. So nice.
Good.
So I expect them to win. I expect them to beat West Virginia. Come on now.
I expect them to beat West Virginia. Then I expect them to beat Texas Tech in the next game.
Everyone knows that we know everything there is to know about OU baseball. So just trust us, people.
I know everything that Toby Rowland has said about OU baseball. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Oh, I felt bad, but it turned out to be excellent drama. I had to go with Mito Pereira. Just the old, the slice, the fade into the pond or into the creek on 18. That's the first time since Phil Mickelson did it at Winged Foot that someone has lost a major with a 1-stroke lead going into the final hole. Just brutal to watch, but it gave us a great playoff. And Justin Thomas coming back from 7 down after 54 holes and gets the win in a playoff. It was excellent drama closing out the end of that. What was a great tournament.
It was. I feel like everyone that was watching was cheering for Mito to bogey 18 so there'd be a playoff.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think anyone was cheering for him to double it.
Right. Yeah.
And when he hit that tee shot, if you go back and look at that swing, and it's like that ball, it was like a magnetic force taking it to that creek. It was brutal, but I was hoping it felt like he deserved to be part of the playoff. And
yeah. It felt like it right up until he hit that tee shot anyways. I felt bad, because I was talking with a friend today and we were like, I don't know anything about the guy leading. And I said, the only thing I know about him is he's probably going to shoot 77 today. And he almost hit that number. Just only his second major. To find yourself in that position, just to wake up Sunday morning as the leader of a major and then be on 18, one shot up and just everything in your soul saying, just don't hit it in the water. Just don't hit it in the water. Just don't hit it in the water. It's a mental, it's just mental warfare. Got to be tough.
So there's obviously the golf side of it, right? I mean, we all, even if you were cheering for him to kind of melt down on 18, I think anyone that was cheering for that when he doubled, everyone was like, "Oh man!" Like it just felt it was a hard watch, man. But there is the financial side to professional golf. Mito would have won 2.7 million if he would have parred 18. Instead, he doubled it, tied with Cam Young, and got $870,000, meaning he lost $1.83 million on the 18th hole.
That is an expensive tee shot.
Very
expensive. Wow.
JT was awesome in the playoff, though.
Oh God, he
oh
was
my
great.
gosh, it's like he's been there before or something. Zalatoris, man, how many times is he going to get second?
I know he's good young golfer. That was a lot of fun. And hey, standing O for Southern Hills course was awesome. It was beautiful. It was a hell of a challenge. We saw all 4 seasons in 4 days somehow. I thought it was great. Really, really well done. The only thing I didn't like is that they kept playing that damn Living on Tulsa Time song. Like that's all we listened to in Oklahoma.
That's it. That's all we got. No, I went Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, that weather was miserable, man. It was cold and like spit and mist. It was awful. But it was so bad, Tiger Woods was like, I am out of here, guys. See ya. See ya. I'm good. Thanks.
Fire up the jet, boys.
I did get to see Tiger Woods play golf in person for the first time.
It's awesome.
And watching a crowd follow him is something, man.
Oh. Is it just like a glob of people making their way around?
It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible. But yeah, it was, we had this set up on the 7th fairway, so you could see shots into 7, and then 8 tee box was right behind it. So I could watch the shot in from 7, kind of walk down with it, watch him putt, then go watch him all tee off on 8, which on Sunday, Ted, par 3 8th hole, playing a casual 253 yards into the wind. I was like, dude, I'm hitting driver and I'm probably not getting there.
Oh my God. Well, dude, I saw Zalatoris on the 625-yard par 5 go driver 3-iron in. He hit like a 270 or 280-yard par 3-iron.
On Sunday, Rory had it rolling early, right? It looked like he may go real low, but he putts on 7. I'm like, oh, got to go. And by the way, Rory's got a big crowd that follows him too. I mean, a lot. And he has one of the most recognizable walks on planet Earth. Like that's Rory.
Yeah.
And
that's funny.
He is looking, he steps into the 8th tee. It's playing over 250. He's looking and he's like looking up at the trees, and he just pulls an iron out of the bag and just wait. I was just like, oh my God, watching that dude hit a golf ball is fun, man.
It's crazy. Yeah. He's a little dude, but he rips it. What's he like, 5'10"?
Yeah, he's not very tall, but I will say he works out.
Yeah.
He's like the guy I'm like, yeah, that dude lifts. Nice, Rory. But I will say, Southern Hills, I'd never been on the golf course. My number one takeaway, I want no part of that golf course. I mean, absolutely no part of it. I wanted to
play it until I saw it on TV, and then it's like, yeah, you guys can have that.
It's like the walk up to the gift shop, like it's not a shop, like merch indoor facility is basically, it was like a college indoor facility of all the PGA Southern Hills merch. Like you go up like 18, and it was not, I was like, God dang, man. That place was a madhouse, by the way. But yeah, it was really well done. That was the first major tournament I'd ever been. It was so easy getting in and out, like security, everything. It was great.
Awesome.
And I did have an open bar, so that never hurts.
That's great. Good stuff, man. That was awesome. They pulled off a great event.
Yeah, it was really cool. Congratulations, 918. You guys, you done good. That was fantastic. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all, whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone. Everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total of more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
if you are a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing, head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year-round. Remember, in 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan, and became the first American distillery to win the competition. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but yes, the owners, they are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the weekend, I got to be honest, thought about going with USC because in a shocking development, Jordan Addison has committed to be a USC Trojan. And listen, I know there are a lot of people out there still upset with maybe how this whole thing went down, possible tampering, all that. But at the end of the day, we really don't know what all happened, what order it happened in, who contacted who. But USC just added arguably the best wide receiver in the country to their team. And that's a big deal for Lincoln Riley, despite how we may feel about him. That is a very good addition for that football team.
It is. It is. And I saw that, was it Stuart Mandel that had USC number 4 in his top 25? And by the way, he also, I think he had him number 4. He definitely had Oklahoma outside of the top 25 in his preseason top 25. But yeah, it's good for USC. Offensively, they're stacking it up, man. They've got a lot of really good talent there at skill positions, light at the offensive line, and light on defense. But I think they'll be improved over last year for sure. How much improved? They definitely will not be the number 4 team in the country.
I'll say it right now, they're going to win more games than a lot of OU fans want them to win. I'm starting to get that
They got
feeling.
a really easy schedule.
Got an easy schedule. The Pac-12 in itself, not exactly a grind, but you just got to. They got some really, really talented guys on offense. They just do. So
yeah,
we don't have to love it.
Yeah.
Don't have to cheer for them or anything like that, but they're gonna score some points, man.
They've got an easy schedule until they play Notre Dame and Utah. Utah is going to absolutely destroy USC next year.
You've said it multiple times. I agree. All right, but my winner of the weekend, Oklahoma softball, went 3-0 in the Norman Regional, including Sunday. Whoa. Hey, Texas A&M, they were feeling pretty good about that 3-2 game that happened on Saturday. Saw some A&M fans, excited about the rematch on Sunday. And then the old Sooners put a 9-piece on them in the top of the first. End up winning 20-0 over Texas A&M on Sunday. That is, if you're keeping score at home, that is the largest win in NCAA softball tournament history. And it was the 37th run rule for Patty Gasso's squad this season. And it was over after one inning. That it was that watching that the top of the first inning, and it was weird because OU was playing in Norman, but they are technically the away team, so they're batting first. And I'm guessing Texas A&M wish they would have gotten to bat first at least, because coming out of the bottom or coming out of the top of the first, they had to be like, well, this is over.
Yeah,
and it was everyone. I mean, it was everyone doing damage to them. And Alo, she sent that one to the moon. And that was her second at bat of the inning.
well, here's the thing. If there is a softball equivalent of a 77-0 score, like the football team gave A&M back in the day, I think 20-0 in a NCAA softball tournament regional is the equivalent, right? Isn't that it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I kind of felt
Or
bad.
worse?
Once again, I felt this feeling a couple times with this team this year where I'm just like, God, oh,
Come
that's
on,
just
have some compassion.
yeah, you guys are mean. You're bullies. No, it was awesome to watch. I'm just kidding. I didn't feel bad for A&M. They wanted the rematch. They got it, baby. And
That's a good
this
team, though.
is
A&M is a pretty salty team, so that's an impressive win.
yeah. I mean, that game on Saturday was close. That was a really good game. And to put a 20-piece on them, and Nicole May completely shut them down. She was great. That was impressive. And OU headed to the Super Regionals for the 12th straight year.
Whew.
Clearly, they will host the Super Regional against UCF. As we're recording this, those dates and times have not been released yet, but feel pretty confident. Sooners in Norman seeing they've won 44 straight home games.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt.
One fun tidbit. Tidbit? Did I say tidbit? I'm losing
No
it.
one noticed.
It's been a long weekend, man. But Jocelyn Allo now hitting over 500 on the season. Just casual, man.
That's crazy. She's
And
amazing.
And if you're paying attention out there to softball, Alabama's been a big deal. Patty Gasso talked about their favorable draw in the regional. Not so much. They got eliminated by Stanford in that Tuscaloosa regional. They're out. How about that?
Pretty wild. Yeah, I saw them. They pulled Montana Fouts out of the game, let her get the ovation, and that was it.
And that was it. That was weird. Clearly used to seeing them at the Women's College World Series. Be a shame not to see all the Bama fans there.
I didn't see the end of the Florida State and was it Mississippi State were in a pretty close game. I didn't see the end of it though.
Yeah, but I really only care about OU. Just
Right.
let me know who's in the World Series. That's really all I'm worried about. All right, for my loser of the weekend, thought about going with Charles Leclerc, man. A lot going on in the sports world, but still got my F1 fix in. Ted, this guy, fastest in all 3 practice sessions in Spain, won qualifying, so he started on the pole, was leading the Spanish Grand Prix until the sport's weird, man. Car just stops working, power goes out, and he's just screaming in the radio, no, and it's kind of brutal for him because and who knows if he would have been able to hold off Verstappen, but
Well, history would say no, he would not be able to hold off Verstappen.
I don't know, man. Leclerc, he was leading in the driver's standings until this race because, hey, guess who ended up winning?
Lewis Hamilton.
No, although Lewis Hamilton, he got in a little fender bender on the first lap of the race,
and it fixed the porpoising.
They have it's certainly better. George Russell, his teammate, finished 3rd, but Lewis Hamilton got damage to the car on lap 1. Had to come all the way back from P19. I think he finished 5th because Sainz got by him with only a lap or 2 to go. But I think he was driver of the day. He had quite the comeback. Had to work through a lot of traffic to get that top 5 finish.
Well, Impressive stuff. And I did see something that Formula One is like one of the fastest growing sports or whatever you call it out there right now as far as getting attention. And I'm guessing it had to come from the Netflix deal, right?
They do. The show's great. You got to watch it, man. And because the races really are, like, if you're just sitting there watching it on TV, it's not like the most exciting thing in the world, but like you get attached to the characters, you know. That's where I think the sport is growing because of that aspect of things. But you didn't guess Verstappen won, man. Come on. Are you shocked? You seem shocked.
Well, okay, I guess I should have guessed that because whenever you said, who knows if he would have been able to hold off Verstappen, yeah, I should have known that that's who won. So,
but he had some DRS issues, worked through them, Ted. 1-2 finish for Red Bull with Perez finishing second.
Well, that's what happens whenever your crew guy can actually keep your car running, unlike Leclerc.
Yeah. Yes, you got to go. When the power's going out and because they do the radio, like they let you listen into the radio communication, which is really cool. And he was just so sad. He's like, no,
God, no.
It's basically what it was. It was pretty funny. Oh, brutal sport. All right, but my loser of the weekend, man, Boston Celtics. And this series is, I mean, it's confusing. So Boston went to Miami, right, game 2, and whooped up on the Heat, right? They had Marcus Smart back. They had Al Horford back. They got after the Heat in game 2. But then dropped game 3 in Boston to the Heat.
With Butler out, right?
Jimmy Butler didn't even play in the second half, and I am fully convinced he could have played in the second half. They were up by so much. I think Eric Spoelstra and the trainers, because it was knee inflammation, I think Jimmy Butler was hurting. And they're like, guys, you got to be able to hang on to a 20-plus point lead without him. Go get it done. And to their credit, man, they did. And the Heat got blasted in game 2. And they came out and set the tone early in game 3. They were up as many as 26 in the first half of that game. And Bam Adebayo was that dude. Super aggressive, just dominant throughout the game. 31-10 in game 3 for Bam after having really disappointing performances in game 1 and 2 of this series. I thought PJ Tucker was also huge for Miami. I mean, hit some really timely shots. And the Celtics were just careless with the basketball, man. 24 turnovers in the game. That being said, Jaylen Brown buries a 3 with like 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the game to cut it to 1. And all the momentum was on Boston's side. But for the Heat to be able to hold on and win, it was, I mean, super impressive. Max Strus continues to hit big shots. Bam played the best he's played in a while. It was really impressive watching them hold on to that win.
Yeah, it's been crazy with the guys that have been out and like just kind of what's happened health-wise so far in the series, and the fact that it's looked like so one-sided at times, but I still think it's going to be a great finish. Like as things tighten up and, you know, the backs get closer to the wall and, you know, being eliminated is going to be close. Like whichever team ends up in that position, it's going to be a fight to the death. I like these two teams and the style they play. Physical, tough. It's cool. Good to watch.
I have been very complimentary of Jayson Tatum. Right? And, you know, talking about the possibility of him being a top 5 guy in the league, right? He was bad in this game. 3 of 14, 10 points, 6 turnovers. Now, Jaylen Brown turned it over a lot, but at least he was affecting the game. It was a weird performance from Tatum. And the more that I thought about it, it's like top 5 guys, they don't have games like this. And it made me think of Giannis, right? In that game 7.
Yeah.
Where we were saying, man, he didn't For Giannis, he didn't play great, man. It didn't shoot it particularly well. He looked a little tired. Remember the Bucks got blown out by the Celtics in Game 7?
Yeah.
Giannis had 25, 20, and 9 in that game.
Didn't Tatum have a bad game? Was it in the previous series?
Yeah, he's had a couple of these, and that's where, like, you can't have, if you're Jayson Tatum, and he has taken some games over in these playoffs, and it's been incredibly fun to watch. But if you want to be put on that level, right, with Giannis and Jokic and LeBron and Luka and these guys, you can't have 10-6 in a conference finals game at home. You just can't. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was weird. It was weird to watch, but I will give the Boston Celtics trainers some credit. Apparently those people are miracle workers, because I thought Marcus Smart's leg was going to fall off, and Jayson Tatum, he made it look like his shoulder was just, they're going to have to amputate. Dad, that right arm was going to have to come off the body, but it is some quick recoveries for Marcus Smart. Oh, the best part, it's like they're showing him running out of the tunnel, and he's jogging pretty good. And then once he clears the tunnel and the fans can see him, real significant limp all of a sudden start developing. It's
amazing.
Miracle workers, those Celtics trainers. The best in the business, apparently.
And I know these guys are tough. I know they're physically tough. Marcus Smart is a big ass dude. He's strong. He's tough. It's strange. Never figured it out. I mean,
I'm convinced he's got a little WWE in him. Like, he's just an entertainer, man. Like, he gives the people what they want. And
it is the Celtics. I mean, at least they didn't carry him out in a wheelchair, right? Like they did.
People were trying to compare it to Paul Pierce, but there was no wheelchair involved. But it was, a couple of miraculous recovery moments there for Marcus Smart and Jayson Tatum. But I will say this, and I've heard other people talk about it. I'm not quite sure why the NBA is making these guys play every other day. Even when they travel, they're playing every other day and no rest days in between, not an extra rest day for the travel stuff. It's a lot of dudes are beat up in these series, right? It's the same way in the Western Conference Finals. So I don't know whose decision that was, but that I think if they got a little more rest, because remember, going back to the bubble, remember how competitive and like that the level of play was so high, because, and guys talked about it a ton. They didn't have to travel. They didn't have to deal with that. Like, it was so much easier on their bodies. And I don't know why the NBA, it feels like they're rushing the conference finals for whatever reason.
Yeah. I think they're in a tough spot, because I know there's always been complaints that the playoffs take too long and they drag on forever. But, and then you got to think about the players. And I mean, ultimately what you want to see is the best players healthy, fresh, and have it be decided on the court, not decided by who's the least banged up, So I don't know. It's tough balance.
Yeah. It's just, I was watching that Heat Boston games. I was like, who's left, man? It was brutal.